gamers, it's me, your favorite goober, and it was supposed to be Think Aloud, where I just kind of do my thinking aloud. But one of the things I didn't really foresee was how many interruptions I would get, and in hindsight, I really only get a couple of attempts before my train of thought might take off, and I might have ideas that I like. And now the topic for today that was supposed to be thought about no longer really fits for the think aloud. It doesn't prevent me from doing a think aloud or trying to go deeper into the ideas, but it kind of, I guess, sounds rude, but it kind of ruins the original thing I was trying to go for. So I don't know. I'm just gonna give the update instead. So I put some effort into Project Fear. What I wanted to do was I introduced the character, and then I started thinking about the powers that they had, and I was using him as a baseline to try to understand potential rules. And I can introduce the character if you're curious, but to save a little bit of time, I will mention the updates on the power system. So my new, like, rough idea is to have the system work like this. You have a monster and you have your power. Now the monster can use the power depending on what it is, or it'll use like a slightly tweaked version of your power. But every individual who is super duper afraid of something can potentially tap into a power. However, if they can't control their fear, can't get their nerves under control, right? Like fight or flight. If your response is most likely flight, you're probably going to get consumed. If it's fight, you probably have a chance to stave off that consumption, right? You remain yourself. You're not, you know, overtaken by this kind of monster that lays dormant within you. Um, but I wanted to potentially do something. So here's a new idea. The power is its own thing. The monster is its own thing. You can control your monster. That would give you kind of like a visual, almost like, imagine an outfit. I'm going to go for an outfit. I'm not going to go for like literally think. What's a good example? Basically, I want like character designs. Imagine like you're just wearing some casual t-shirt, jeans, and shoes. Nothing crazy going on. But think about like, I don't know, Gachi Yakuza. I want an excuse to talk about it. Fucking love that series. I'm in anime only at the moment. I intend to change that, so just keep that in mind. But I heavily recommend it. I'm obsessed with it. It's probably not that good if you're trying to be like super critical of the media, but it just clicked with me and I loved it so much. Little little moment aside. I want to think like, the character designs in that series are really nice. So just imagine like a regular average Joe, but if they can control their monster, they get like a cool outfit that's inspired by the monster. And so, I don't know, just something like that. And that would be like a power up probably to your physicals. And then you can master your power. That can come with its own thing. I considered having like a Bankai situation. Don't really know if there's going to be that, but it's always up on the table, right? Big special moves, transformations. These things are fun. The transformation, I guess, would come from, mastery of your monster. So maybe we can just run with that, and the power can be separate. That's always definitely something we can do. Hey, look, a little bit of thinking aloud. I guess we could still do a little bit, right? But yeah, that's kind of just the idea. So now I have to understand why people can't just use their power. Oh, that's probably easy to explain. Maybe people can't use their power because if they do, that exposes them to their fear. And, well, if they can't control their fear, they become consumed. So there you go. Which then dawns the biggest question of how do these powers, and thusly, how do these fears manifest these powers? Right? Where does the fear come from? What triggers that specific fear to be what you gain power from? Or, because maybe this can just tie in, Hey, I do get to think aloud. This is nice. Okay, maybe this ties in to the system that I had in mind already, where everybody's kind of afraid of things and there's different fears that they can be consumed by, right? So if, take for example, somebody is afraid of the darkness, that's a really common fear. So that fear is spread between so many people. And due to that spread, it's a lot more difficult for that fear to particularly uh, get to you. However, if you were really, really afraid of the dark and you got triggered to a point where you could end up consumed by it, maybe then would that kind of activate the potential for that fear within you. And I bring this up because this could actually open the door to something very unique where a character can be afraid of something, but maybe, just maybe, they lose that fear. Or a new fear comes into play, and that fear is something that plays the main role, right? So maybe they lose access to their previous power, but now that they're afraid of something new, if they can get control of that, they'd be able to, I guess, go forward with that power. I don't know if they would be able to gain multiple powers, multiple different, because you have to like genuinely be that afraid of something. So maybe that'd be like a really rare occurrence, but if you're working with your fear, at some point you have mastery over it. I feel like you would slow down being afraid. So I think these are questions that I'll just have to answer at another day. I won't take up your time for too long, but yeah, it's kind of where I'm at. I don't really know. I'm too lazy to listen to this whole thing again, so I hope that was good enough. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I do not mind answering any of them. So, in case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, good night. No, I'll do my normal one. Good night and good. Well, I guess it's 7 o'clock. Okay, good night and good luck. Bye bye.